What's up guys, welcome back to the VG ShiHai channel, and today I have with me my Perfect Raizer Nova Grapplers deck recipe. So if you guys seen before on my YouTube channel, I put out the Royal Paladin KOK Alpha deck recipe, and today I'm just going to do my Nova Grapplers one. So the Nova Grapplers is very simple and very straightforward. I don't think there's any tricks or whatever. So there's three things I'm going to cover in this video. First is the cards that I run in the deck. And secondly will be the card skills and how it plays well and how it combos with the deck. And last but not least, we have some play styles on how I play the deck, what recommendations to run and all that, and why do I run it. So moving on, we have the Great Trees. So firstly, the Great Trees, I run 9 of them. So if you can see right here, the first 4 Great Trees I run is a Perfect Raizer. Obviously, this is your ideal Great Tree. The skill is on Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks, Counter Blast 2, stand 2 of your rear guards, front row rear guards obviously, and then the other skill is on attack hit, so it must hit obviously. It must hit, you counter charge 1 and then choose one of your units plus 5k, so it's really good. Ideally you want to play, not ideally, but you obviously need to play 4. It's a very cheap deck, Nova Grappler, so you can see the XL force here, the Imaginary Force, you should play 4 of this obviously. So moving on, we have 2 Ozra Kaisers. So Ozra Kaiser has the force marker as well, if you can see right here, the XL Imaginary Gift Force. And then the skill for Ozra Kaiser is whenever you drive check into a grade 2 and above card, you may stand one of your rear guards for free, and then if you do drive check into a grade 3 and above, you may counter blast 1, and then the rear guard that you stood gains 10k power. So I feel like is good, but it's not that good as Perfect Raizer. So ideally you want to run into Perfect Raizer and not Ozra Kaiser, but Ozra Kaiser is really good if you don't have any counter blast to work with, because when you drive check into a grade 2 and above, you just basically get to stand 1 rear guard, and if you drive check into a grade 3, counter blast 1, you gain 10k. But if you have no counter blast, Ozra Kaiser is the way to go. But if you have enough counter blast, you might as well just go to Perfect Raizer, because it's guaranteed stand 2 rear guards. Alright, so moving on, we have the last 3 Great Trees. So I run this in my deck, which is Maximum Raizer. The skill is Vanguard Rear Guard Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, when it's not boosted, it gains 10k, so it's actually a 22k beat stick. So it's really good on an XL Circle. Let's just say you have an XL Circle right into Perfect Raizer. You run into Perfect Raizer, you put the XL Circle right here, and then you call Maximum Raizer out. It's actually a 32k, when it's not boosted, it's a 32k hit to the Vanguard, to the enemy's Vanguard. Doesn't matter whether the enemy's Vanguard's at 12k or 13k, or even if he gets a trigger, or she, it's still a 10k guard. And your opponent, most of the time, with no triggers, they'll obviously take this, the units, you take the unit's damage, because it's just too big. They ideally either want to Kanzen, or if they don't, they'll just take the damage, and then you can just use Perfect Raizer skill on attack, counter blast 2, I'll stand him again, and then just beat for another 2k. If you get front trigger, it's even worse, because it's 42k for your opponent. So it's really good. I ideally want to run 2. The only bad thing about Maximum Raizer is just that it doesn't have any force markers. So moving on, last but not least, we have 1 Battle Dwarf Fighter. Okay, so a lot of people don't like to run this card in the Raizer's deck. They ideally just want to run like maybe 3 Ozra Kaisers and just 4 Perfect Raizer 7 Great Trees, that's fine. But I run Battle Dwarf Fighter just in case, because it has the Imaginary Gift Force. Skill is counter blast 1, so plus 1, choose 1 units, and during that battle, the unit attack, your opponent cannot call Guardian from his or her hand unless they call 2 or more cards at the same time. So basically, it's just like a free day skill, something like that. So they have to call at least 2 Guardians. So that's 2 cards gone from the hand, if not the attack will go through. And then the Rear Guard Vanguard skill is quite good also. If you have 3 or more Rear Guards, it gains 5k. So ideally I will call it onto a Rear Guard and then just beat for 17k. Boosted is better. You can use Perfect Raizer skill to stand him also for a 17k beat stick. Yeah, so it's really good. Moving on, we have the Grade 2. So the Grade 2 is pretty standard too. For High Power Raizer Custom, this is very, very important. It's like one of your key cards in the deck. Skill is Rear Guard Vanguard. When placed, you may call out a Battle Raizer from Soul. Your Battle Raizer is actually your starting Vanguard. I would say your grade 0, you know, when you write on you just draw one. So you can call it from your Soul. And then the second skill is Vanguard to Rearguard skill. Combat 1, when the unit attack hits, so when this unit attack hits, you may move Battle Raizer into your Soul. If you do, you Combat 1 and then you just stand one of your other Rearguards. So it's really good. Forces your opponent to guard. You can put this on the Excel circle for a 19k beat stick if you want. And then if it attack hits, Combat 1, move Battle Raizer into your Soul. And then just stand one of your Rearguards. It's really good. So 4 of it, obviously. So moving on, we have Burst Raizer. So Burst Raizer is another necessity in your deck, so it's just a rare card. Skill is when your Vanguard attacks, Combat 1, Soul Blast 1, stand this unit, and if your opponent has 4 or more damage in this damage zone, obviously, this unit gains 3k, so it's a 12k beat stick when it stands, but when it attacks it gains 9k. But if you drive check into a front trigger, it's basically 19k, or you can just place it on the XL circle, it's still a 19k beat stick. And then when it stands it gains 3k, so it's total of 22k if it's on the XL circle, or 12k if it's on nothing basically. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then last but not least, 3 boomerang throwers. So total are around 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 grade 2s. 3 boomerang thrower. Boomerang thrower is really good because it gives you that counter charge and soul charge if you don't have them. Skill is when you have less or 1 counter blast, you may counter charge 1. If you have less or 1 soul, you soul charge 1. That's basically it. Moving on to the grade 1s. So the grade 1s, I play quite a lot of them. I play about, let's count, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I play 13 grade 1s. First we have Raizer Custom. So a very necessity in the deck also. It's a pretty cheap card, but it's very, very good. The first skill, it's a really fun skill to use if you are starting on the first turn and you want to deal 1 damage to your opponent. Skill is once per turn. If this is on the Vanguard circle, you may choose 1 card from a hand, put it into your soul, and then this unit can attack, but it gains no drive. So basically you can have a turn 1 attack, kinda. Yeah, it's just basically a turn 1 attack. Just choose 1 card from your hand, put your soul, and just attack for no drives. Second skill is why it's really good too, is because when your front rearguard stand, if this unit is boosting obviously, if your front rearguard stand, you may stand this unit once per turn obviously. So you can combo it with some decks, with some cards. So such as Perfect Raizer. Perfect Raizer skill, when you stand one of your rearguards in the front row, you may stand, whoops, oh god, hit the camera. You may stand him, Raizer Custom as well. So ideally you want to run 4 of him. You can combo with the grade 2 Burst Raizer, right? Burst Raizer 2. So when you stand Burst Raizer, you may stand the back row Raizer Custom as well. So 4. Moving on, we have Jet Raizer. So Jet Raizer is a 4 off in the deck also. It's just a common card. Really cheap deck to build. Vanguard Rearguard skill, whenever your other Rearguard is placed, this unit gains 3k. So if it's on the field already, you place 3 more Rearguards, it gains 9k because you multiply the 3. It's not a 1 per turn skill. You can multiply as many times. So if you call like 6 Rearguards on your turn, this gains like 6 times 3, 18k power, so you can whack your face if you want. It's a really good booster. Helps you hit magic numbers if you can't. So 4 is very necessary. So moving on by 3 Death Army guys. So it's just a 9k vanilla. If you don't want your opponent to deal that first turn damage, you're going first, you have this in card in your hand, just ride it, draw 1 because of your starter skill, and then your opponent rides to an 8k base. You'll probably have to call a booster in order for him to hit your number, so it's basically 1 card off his hand, or he'll have to go for a trigger pass if he doesn't call booster. So 3. And then last but not least, we have Trance Raizer. Trance Raizer is a good card if you have no counter blast. So when this boosts, Soul Blast 2, counter charge 1, and then if the target attacks Vanguard, it gains 3k, so it's 11k booster. Helps you hit that magic number if you want. And it's a really good counter charger in times when you don't have any counter blast. For, let's just say, Perfect Raizer. Alright, so moving on to the triggers. Pretty standard. No argument right there, but some people would, you know, try to run different triggers for me. But basically, 4 Twin Blader, your draw triggers obviously, and then I run 8 fronts right here, front, and then 4 heals. So some people might run 5 draws, 7 fronts instead, or they run 6 draws, 6 fronts. But ideally, I would run, in my opinion, I think I run 8 fronts and 4 draws is the perfect combo, because front triggers are just super scary during your turn if you drive check into them, or even if you damage check into them, your whole front row gains 10k. So it doesn't really matter, because your opponent tries to hit your face. If he or she can't hit your Vanguard because of front trigger, he or she also probably can't hit your rear guards, because the rear guards is affected by the front triggers on the opponent's turn as well. So ideally, I would run 8 fronts and then 4 draws. And then obviously you got the Kamui markers. You really don't want to have more than 2 Excel circles. You probably won't have more than 2 Excel circles in one game, because if not, that game would actually could last quite long. But in my own experience while play testing with Nova, the maximum I actually gone with the Excel circles is maximum is 2. I've never gone 3 or more, because there was no need, there's no necessity to do it. It's either then I will end my opponent or the opponent will end me. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you guys like this kind of content. I will post one video against my friend. I won't reveal his name because he's sensitive about that, sensitive info, but I hope you guys like the gameplay that I'm going to post. Is between this deck, which is no grapplers, but it's his deck, not my deck recipe. It's his own personal deck recipe, versus my KOK Alfred. So look out for that. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe. This is VG ShiHai, and I am out.